We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Anthony Walker Jr., Miami Dolphins linebacker, who's really been showing out in training camp so far, had a solid camp. And to me, I think he's going to make a bigger impact than people think. Like, he's a better player than given credit for. Very, very solid veteran, good instincts, just plays all around, very smart football player. Little undersized, struggle can take on, bigger blockers at times, but just really identifies plays so quickly, and it's like a good short area athlete that he, picks up a lot of plays down in the box. He's a quality player in coverage too. He has a good feel back there, which is big. I actually think him and David Long will see a nice rotation this season, and they'll both get playing time. I think he'll be technically your third linebacker, but he'll still see the field. Good job reading the eyes of the quarterback, making plays, taking away, those underneath throws. It's pretty impressive, like seeing a linebacker play with vision. I feel like the linebacker room I just feel way better about overall this season. So I'm a big fan of this signing. I think, Walker was an underrated one. He was like the first signing they make, and people kind of forgot about it. But he's a very smart player, and best I felt about the off-ball linebacker room in quite some time with the addition of Jordan Brooks. David Long's a very good run defender, and Walker gives you a guy that can do a little bit of both and do them both well. And obviously has a lot of experience. And when it comes to linebacker play, I think this is a good play to start with. I really value processing and instincts. That's the number one thing. Just really playing with a good head on your shoulders, being able to work through the trash. They're trying to give you a bunch of different looks, and this play is such a good example of it. And look, because he quickly identifies the pullers right here. He's reading through here and sees the pulling happening, and he's staying square. He's staying patient. He's floating with it, but then he's able to identify what's happening here and feel that this is really wrapping back around. Feels the O-lineman work back this way. The center pulls out here, and he stays square, patient, and then works through the trash all through that. Takes a great angle to the point of attack, and then makes a tackle for loss on Garrett Wilson. This is about as good of a football play as off-ball linebacker you'll see, just from an identification standpoint. And he has a couple things that I look for. The instincts are there, obviously. And then when it comes to athletic traits, not every player is going to have elite athletic traits at every spot. But for me, the most important athletic trait is like the lateral quickness and change of direction skills, which I think Walker's best athletic traits are those. So he kind of has a lot of those top traits that I look for at the linebacker position, even though he's a little bit undersized and maybe not the elite athlete, but recognition skills. Look at him identify, the reverses, the end arounds again. He just is reading through this. He sees, the O-lineman might be flowing this way, but he sees the split flow with this tight end here. So he starts cheating, recognizing it immediately. And then now once he sees, that it's being tossed around, he's just taking the angle away. And he plays with a really, he plays aggressive, but then he plays with good patience too. Because once he gets in the spot that he needs to, he knows he doesn't just need to fly downhill, fly this guy. Because if he makes a miss too early, then he'll have enough time to make the next guy miss too. So he breaks down, stays patient, knows he already has the tackle for loss, and then takes a, really good path to get that play for a loss. Really, really exceptional stuff. Just recognition. He can do it from multiple different spots too. I think he's a guy that can play as your Mike and your Will. I know they'll probably come out in 3 linebacker sets, and he might have to play some Sam too. But I think it'll be more of that rotation, and you'll see him playing in the David Long spot. Here, just identifying some outside zone. They try to motion this across. He's not falling for any of that. You can tell that he watches the film, because based on what different players do for different teams, he'll react to those things accordingly. And then here, just the flow of the offensive line, sees the outside zone happening. He fills it up, stays in phase with Gus Edwards, and then, makes the strong tackle, for the limited gain out there. All these things being pretty good. He's also a pretty good communicator, and you can see the change of direction skills maybe, flows one way. Because there's a lot of things happening in the backfield. There's the motioning happening. The O-linemen are pulling across. The running back's also going out like he's going to lead here, but it's, some counter action. So even though he takes some false steps, he's able to quickly gather himself, get over there, and then work through the trash, make the tackle on Lamar Jackson for another limited gain. A lot of stuff, very good versus the run. I feel like if he does struggle versus the run, it's more that he might struggle taking on some big blockers if he's left uncovered. So you need some D linemen that can take up some double teams, which the Dolphins have that stuff. I also think didn't hear too much about his coverage ability, but I was pretty impressed with his coverage ability, at least the last season that I saw. He has the ability to, whether you want him to just completely spot drop, read the QB's eyes, he does a good job with that, or just carry down the field. He knows to stay over the top. Here, they're playing in a Tampa 2 look. He knows to carry Zay Flowers vertically, and then Flowers is able to, he has this high leverage here, so he sees Flowers break, and he's just staying patient too. He knows he has help over the top, and he's playing with high leverage, so he can break on this stuff. He's ready to stay in position if it is thrown over the middle of the field, which he doesn't make that throw, and then Lamar dumps it underneath, and he shows hustle, get downhill, get in pursuit, make the tackle. Beautiful, beautiful work in coverage. I really like that stuff from Walker. And then, more work of just working through the trash, identifying what's going on here on some of these things. See that, a couple double teams happen, and he has to fill and fit into this gap right here. So he scrapes over the top, staying square, staying patient, able to just track through all of that trash right there. It gets muddied up, his vision gets muddied, and he just feels it, stays patient, stays square. Good job getting into your run fit, and then making the tackle on Jonathan Taylor at about the line of scrimmage. Love that stuff. And then here he is in coverage again. This time, being more of a spot drop, just staying in the middle of the field. Doesn't react to Tannehill's first eyes. This is what I love to see, because sometimes guys react very quick. Like, if you watch Tua's very good at manipulating with his eyes, and linebackers moving out of the way. Walker just has a good feel for when to move with the quarterback's eyes. Like, he doesn't move initially. He stays patient, stays squares. He knows from where he's aligned right here, like, even if he flies over there, he doesn't need to help. Like, they have the numbers advantage to this side. Like, they have 3-on-3 with the safety that could help over here for 4, and the safety's breaking on it. So he knows to stay patient with the initial work right there, and then it comes back to the other side. He's already starting to cheat before Tannehill really even opens back up, and once he sees him fully turn to the single side of the field, the slant, Walker knows that now he can go underneath and help out his teammate who's playing with outside leverage. Just really good instincts and understanding of what's going on out there. Know your numbers to each side of the field. Just a very intelligent football player, and I love intelligent football players. Here, another example of him kind of doing the same thing. He knows to this side of the field, it's a true 2-on-2 over here. Like, you don't want to give them just a straight 2-on-2. It's gonna be very difficult for these guys to cover that up perfectly. To this side of the field, they know they have the advantage because there's technically 3 threats over here, but they have 4 guys that can cover it. So Walker, instead of just sitting in the middle of the field, he cheats over to the 2 receiver side to potentially take away that initial throw. He kind of helps take away this initial throw if Ingram was going to win, and then they're trying to throw this back to Ridley. He stays patient, stays square, reading Lawrence the whole time, and then boom, knocks the ball down. Great work from him. Just really identifying stuff in coverage. This is an RPO action. They're getting this ball out quickly to Hopkins, and it is just like a hustle play to get down the field and chase after him and showing off some speed too. Nothing too crazy. Just want to show him playing with good hustle plays, because that's important, and seeing some speed, because we don't get to see the full field range from him. And here he is from linebacker, responsible for this off-ball tight end, key that he's more in that wing, H-back type area. See that his first step's this way with the split flow. You're responsible for him, and then now get over the top, take away that initial flat option. Good recognition skills again, and in a spot to where if the QB did want to run, he's also in a position to make a play there. Love this stuff from Walker. I feel like he does a really good job with a lot of those things. The instincts, the ability to, whether he's going to shoot a gap, chase you down, that type of thing, or play as a stack and tracker, because I feel like he can do both. Not a lot of guys, I guess something that I really like about Jordan Brooks' game too is they are pretty versatile with how they make plays. David Long can do it too, but Long is more of a gap shooter, make disruptive plays in the backfield, while Walker can do a little bit of both, and he really loves to stack, track, read through the line here, not instantly commit down, but not allowing a lot of space either where he's going to make a big play, but then once he makes this cut, you're able to scrape back over, be right in the hole, just play a part of your run fits, work with your D tackles. This type of thing is very, very impressive. They're trying to give these linebackers problems here with they do the direct snap, the QB goes with that, the motion also goes this way, but the O-lineman pull this way. You can see this linebacker shoots down here, but Walker stays patient. He's trying to recognize it. He he feels the O-lineman pulling, so he stays in the middle of the field with both motions happening, sees the counter step, then comes up, boom, takes the O-lineman at the point of attack, and then helps make the tackle. All of that is absolutely beautiful work. I'm a huge fan of this pickup, one of the underrated ones, because you also get him for it was a vet minimum pickup, so I think that's good value to me, because I think you're going to get some decent, significant snaps out of him, even if he's just a pure backup, because him and Long both have an injury history. That's another kind of thing I think, that bumped down their prices. But both having an injury history, if they can, back each other up in certain games, if one has to miss time, the other one's ready to go. That's helpful too. And I just think Walker gives you a little more in coverage than David Long does. David Long, I think, is overall a better run defender. Definitely more of an aggressive run defender too. Walker is more of the, the stack and track type. But yeah, big fan of the linebacker core this time around, at least the top 3, and we'll see who ends up, making the roster in the other positions. But Walker is a guy to keep an eye on. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to see the copies.